But in the bottom left, we do have Neutron. Neytpoh. I don't know. It's in the bottom left. It's Neutron, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And in the top right, we do have the Great Wall. Undead main, but gonna play human. And guys, this is no off-race arena in terms of like, oh, this is a sham. His human versus elf is very, very good.
Yeah, he plays human specifically for this matchup, I believe, because we saw him play random against Night Elf. Oh yeah, he did do random against Night Elf, and then it didn't work out, and then he switched to human afterwards. So, but I imagine if he was up against, say, human, he would probably go undead. Maybe as well against orc, he would probably go undead. So he's very he switches it up a little bit. But this is his strong matchup with this race, I would say. So he's very well prepared against Night Elf. But, you know, Neutron's also very well prepared. This is his main base, Rick. His main base, his main race. This is what he plays. This is what he plays every day.
Main race, and he is creeping outside the main base, so yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, is there a ball? And Couracious in the chat goes, spam this ball to help the Great Wall. I was literally looking for a rhyme with the Great Wall, and I was thinking ball. Couracious, man. So simpatico. Unbelievable. Obviously, YouTube, Couracious is a Twitch mod. One of the best ones for the Back to Warcraft Twitch moderation team, so that's why we're giving him a little bit of love, just in case you have no idea what the hell we're talking about. The Keeper coming across the map. Let's get back to the game. Wisp going to be scouting to see what the heck the Great Wall is doing, because you don't know if an expansion, but it looks like actually the Great Wall going to go for that quick lab creep, and this could work out because it looks like the elf is on the other side of the map.
Yeah, this is, if he does go for an expansion, the Great Wall, this is going to be very delayed. But if he went for an expansion, of course, Neutron is in position to deal with that. 1 footman into the main base, going to be dealt with by 1 archer, but it's going to take quite a while. Yeah, Neutron. He doesn't see an expansion attempt quite yet with that very well-placed Wisp, so perhaps... Yeah, it's going to be 1 base play from the Great Wall. This is different. This is different from what he did against Zed. I'm saying that right? Zed?
Yeah, it's said, yeah. Yeah, this is very, very different. Did he do expansion every game? I think so.
Yeah, it was only 2 games, I believe, and I don't think he randomed human. Did he? Was it 2-1? I don't remember. But yeah, I think he did expand every game. Yeah, I don't remember seeing 1 base against Zed. But still strong, and strong on this map, of course, because the expansion is very hard to creep, and we just saw how well positioned Neutron was to deal with it. Militia creep, Potion of Greater Heal, gonna secure that level 3, and look at the timing. He could go for even a Huntress Hall cancel if there was one to cancel. Like, this is a beautiful timing for that. But in an even better timing for that 3rd Moonwell, there's the level 2 Water Elementals. Neutron out of position, a couple Wisps may fall.
Very aggressive is the Great Wall right now, and I think it's paying off. And Tango coming in should be able to pick off a few of these footies, and Wisps not deadoing on this Water Elemental. A lot of value coming in. Archmage combined with the Water Elemental, it hits archers really hard. I don't know if you want to be letting these Water Elementals live. A second one comes into the fight. Great Wall can kind of chill here. There we go.
No DuSt, but a lot of detonates and entangle is always a great cure for the Water Elementals in your base. He's going to deal with both of those, but, you know, Great Wall hasn't committed much into here. He just came in, used a couple summons, and he got out, and you know what? He's buying time for his tech. Blacksmith going up now for the Great Wall. Huntress Hall could be canceled, but there's gonna be... Yeah, there'll be another Water Elemental, I think. The Great Wall may go for this Huntress Hall. The archers are taking a little bit of damage. The Moonwells are dry. The 3rd Moonwell built to the top. A couple of archers, again, taking damage. And there could be reveal, so there's no need for DuSt because there's a farm at the lab, the Hunt Hall. I think it'd be a good choice to cancel this.
Yeah, we'll see what the Great Wall wants to do. I gotta say, though, Neutron being so passive with his Wisps, because, I mean, he can't deado all his Wisps. He's mid-tech. Now the tech finishes. Might see him be a little bit more aggressive with those Wisp deados, but the Water Elementals have already paid off. Archer's taking so much damage. The Moonwell juice is pretty much empty. Alchemist comes in, now level 3 Keeper. Finally, Neutron's starting to get a footing on this hold here. Entangle on the Archmage, doing a lot more damage. Alchemist could actually block and force the TV, but the Greater Heal is there as well. I don't even think the Great Wall wants to use any of these items just yet. Doesn't necessarily have to.
Beastmaster, we've seen this before. It seems unorthodox, but we have seen this. I can't remember from who, actually, but not too uncommon. The bear first, and remember, the lures cannot be built quite yet. There's no Wisps really in a good position out on the map currently. The Greater Heal going to be forced most likely. There it comes. The Footman chasing Wisps, and the damage is coming, and you know, the Arcane Sanctum's up. The rifles are going to be built soon. There's the first one coming up. A reveal probably going to be to force these archers, and I think This is close to too much damage for Neutron. He's got no lures up, remember. One's not even being built. The shop is going to be canceled as well.
Yeah, and the macro for the Great Wall looking great. It's finally some rifles pumping out. The Arcane Sanctum as well for some casters. The macro looks good for the Great Wall, but the macro does not look good for Neutron. Finally, a lure trying to go in the back. I wonder if the Great Wall kind of dives into this now that the heroes are taking a lot of damage. Maybe just dive into the base, peek a bit. You got 2 bears. You could get a lure cancel here, and a lure cancel would be even bigger than, you know, stalling these lures completely. Oh, surely the Great Wall's going to see this lure.
Not quite committing in. Almost has another water elemental. And 1 bear falls. The moon juice, remember, is very low, and this timing for the Great Wall is going to hit right when daytime strikes as well. So no fountain access, no moonwell regeneration, and the shop has been canceled time and time again. The second lore coming up to the north, but still no shop for the Neutron rather.
Look at all
damage.
Look at the economy. I mean, a Neutron, regardless of if he gets this lure up, he'll be stuck on tier 2 for a while. He won't get that second lure up for a while. Okay, popping it. Oh, that's a shop actually, and right away, the Great Wall with the cancel.
Yep, so much damage. The lumber is still surprisingly good for Neutron, but the health is not. Acid Bomb. Oh, you got a TP out. Okay, the Acid Bomb. Is it going to tick? No, I don't think it will do enough damage, especially if there's a priest there in position. There's priest coming out. Dispel as well. Where's the first priest? Is the Great Wall going to Dispel before first priest? Was he supply blocked, perhaps?
Yeah, you definitely want to see that priest come out.
This time he's not going to be as clean as I had hoped for the Great Wall. Because now he's got to wait around. He's got no shop. He's trying to power build it. He's kind of out of position. He's got to heal his Archmage up. He's going to let the lures get up. He's going to let the shop get up for Neutron. And Neutron is going to keep creeping. He does have to still heal up his heroes. But yeah, he's going to be given a lot more time than perhaps he should have by the Great Wall.
Second lore being built actually outside of the lab. Didn't quite catch that, but AOW creeping now for this Alchemist. Alchemist should hit level 2 from this. I wonder if the Keeper's going to actually steal some XP. Wisp scouts what's going on. A big rifle caster army awaiting him, but no more items for the Great Wall. So I really wonder if he wants to tower. Yeah, he's just going to hit this timing. Is this still a really good timing? I think so. Neutron committing to a quick Dispel before the Dryads come out, but he should have a few Dryads for some Dispel on the Water Elementals and the Bears. Will he have enough? I'm not too sure, but the hero levels will be pretty good. Invuln Pot on the Alchemist. Oh, he actually brings a Shredder, and this Shredder could be, great for the wood, but also great for defending. And here comes the Great Wall.
Oh, look at this positioning. Pretty great behind that Ancient War. The Militia coming from the right-hand side, though. Perhaps a Zeppelin is going to be forced, but there's not enough gold for it for Neutron, so he's got to kind of hold the line. He's trying to delay by this positioning. He's saying, come, attack me. I'll block with my Ancient War. I'll buy time in my main base, just as much time as possible. The Wisps are in position, but I don't think this is something that Neutron can hold. He's trying to Dispel, he's trying to burn the mana. Beastmaster has plentiful mana, though, and the towers are coming up. The Ancient War has to move. The Shredder trying to defend, but I just don't know. Is there enough for Neutron?
Oh, I like this. The Great Wall actually keeping the fight well outside of that tower range, buying more time. Now it's the Great Wall trying to buy time because the push is in place. A couple towers being built. The Arcane being power built right now. AOW is going to go down, and right now the Neutron needs to pump out a bunch of Dryads, but right now he's up against almost a 50 supply human army. The rifles look good. +1 attack with upgraded rifle range. This is a lot of damage on these rifles, but this is the key here. The Shredder actually comes into the fight. He could get taken down right away. Did he get max value from the Shredder? I don't know. Shredder gets microed back. Not going to die yet, and now the rifle's starting to get targeted, but I think the damage is still very, very strong. The footy's on the front line, and I don't think Neutron could actually get a good surface area with the Dryads. Dryads starting to fall. So are the rifles, though. Did Neutron actually just power through?
Perhaps, but he hasn't canceled the towers. I don't think he's going to be able to. A lot of rifles falling. The Shredder could be repaired, and he is mining in the main base now. And don't forget, there's still units being pumped behind this for Neutron, but both his heroes are low. There's a potion of invulnerability on the Alchemist that he may be forced into. Neutron doing absolutely everything he can. He's been playing very well despite being so behind from that initial harass, buying so much time, trading efficiently when the push comes, but now push is coming to shove, and the towers are up. And there's going to be more and more where that came from. Can Neutron find another way to hold? It's just really he can't heal up because of the damage taken early game to the Moon Juice.
Yeah, no Lumber Mill, no Guard Tower is going to be made, but these Arcanes are quite annoying, and Neutron needs to get out of that range of that. Oh, actually picking off reinforcements. That's a good play.
Neutron's playing this so well, honestly. He took so much damage from this harass early game, and he's actually since this push came in, he's been playing pretty close to perfectly with what he's had. He's had so little resources to work with. And he's doing very, very well. But can he defend? His Moonwells are falling one after the next. He can never kill these Arcane Towers. His Shop is probably next to fall as well as that Shredder. Yeah, it doesn't look like he can defend. Oh my god, he's going to catch out another rifle. Crazily done by Neutron. He finds the rifle because he figured the Great Wall would rally it to the other side. He's going to lose a Dryad for his troubles, but finds another reinforcement. Pretty crazy. I don't know how much impact it's going to have, but...
Oh, and a Priest in the mid.
Oh my god. Neutron is playing this so well, despite, like, I don't know if he can defend this timing, but he's held it. He's done everything he possibly can this game. Very well played so far from Neutron, but this timing from the Great Wall is just beautiful as well.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. He's taking so much infrastructure damage that, you know, picking off some reinforcements is, you know, good, but he lost a Dryad for each of those Rifle and Priest, one Dryad apiece as well. Yeah. Oh, the Dispels come in, and that's when the Bear comes in, and now the Dispels are quite low. Yeah, this is still so much damage. Beastmaster taking a lot of damage. Oh, the Cloak!
Abolishes, but they're running out of mana, actually, these Dryads. There's going to be more and more summons. Tower being built in the main base. The Tree of Eternity is going to be exposed soon. Units that were banked in the main base are now coming across for the Great Wall. Can they safely be secured? Actually, the Shop is going to scout the reinforcements, and I imagine Neutron's going to jump on those if he did see it. Okay, the Great Wall going up through the middle. Okay, that lore, or the altar rather, did fall. The Dryads are trying to find some value, but even if the hero levels get out of control for Neutron, short of getting level 6/6, it's not really going to matter too much. Reinforcements coming in, though.
Once this lumber mill finishes, some guard towers coming in. There's still no answer to the towers that are sieging the main base. So many Moonwells went down, and we're starting to see that being a big factor. Neutron, only 30 supply capabilities, 27 against 45. It just seems like the Great Wall has had 50 supply this entire game. And the original 4 footies still alive here. And now that the Rifle Caster have moved in, yeah, now we're going to start to see big siege going down on the Allures. But, I don't know, man. It's so tough. It just seems like Neutron doesn't have enough, but the heroes are keeping him in this.
There's just... Well, there's 3 towers, a Rifle falls, another Rifle entangled. Where's the Dispel? Okay, there it is, but a second Rifle falling. Like I said, Neutron doing absolutely everything he can to hold on. He's even going to get more Priests. He's been trading so favorably. Although he may lose this game, this is a very good omen for Neutron going into Game 2, going into Game 3, because he's playing very well right now. He just took so much damage in the early game to the harass. But he's playing so well. The Great Wall should have ended this much earlier than he is right now, but he's got Aura level 2. His reinforcements are now going towards the left side. There's more towers coming up. The main base is exposed. The Great Wall will certainly close this game out, but I'm very impressed by Neutron, I gotta say.
Level 3 on the Beastmaster now. Surely it's going to be level 2 Quill or maybe
more
level
reinforcements caught out. A Priest, a Rifle caught out.
Yeah, he's stealing these reinforcements. He's stolen like 3-4 rifles this game and 2-3 priests. That helps a lot. And imagine if he wasn't supply blocked, he could start chipping away, but the wood starting to become a factor as well. And I'm surprised that the Great Wall is actually diving across the map for this army. He should just continue to siege.
Oh my god, another priest falling. There's no Dispel. There's almost going to be one for the next Entangle, but of course there's not a lot of mana. There's a Mana Pot and a Clarity on the Keeper. The main base is slowly being sieged. One Dryad is going to die perhaps to an Arcane Tower in the main base. Just crazy from Neutron so far. The Alchemist level 3. He's like, the defend is just too good. I mean, he's doing everything he can. He's doing everything he can. Now the reinforcements going to the right side for the Great Wall. He's just been trying to meet up with his reinforcements this entire time. The Great Wall.
Oh, surround on the Alchemist. Is there Staff of Prez? No, I think that's going to be it for my friend Mr. Alchemist. And what do you do if you're Neutron? Now you're on the other side of the map. The guard tower's starting to kick in. Oh, the Alchemist actually might get out?
Oh.
Okay, no.
There's the GG. I think maybe one more last-ditch attempt Neutron could have done there was buying a town portal and TPing back to his main base at that shop and trying to kill the aggressive towers, but really, he had no health, he had no mana, he had no buildings in his main base anymore, and the towers are up. So well played to the Great Wall. A nice timing, a nice early harassment, but as I said, Neutron played really well. Played really well in the latter half of that game, but he was just too far behind.
Do you remember what we said last week? about this matchup? We're like, the Great Wall could make it to the semis, the top 4.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really close matchup on paper when we looked at it, because it's human versus elf. I mean, playing against Zed, the 2-0 destruction that it was, like, that was a great series that really showcased his ability to beat Night Elf. We're seeing those timings again and again. Concealed Hill, great early game, great composure. He's certainly practiced that before. With the Beastmaster, was also a very nice touch. Just kept the pressure on, and then you go into Rightful Caster and just slowly wedge your way in. I loved it. I thought it was great. Well, we're going to hop into game number 2. It's going to be Neutron versus the Great Wall. Can Neutron come back? I mean, like you said, you're giving him a lot of credit, and I think that's understated just how well he did, being so well behind. A lot of people snowball a lot quicker, but he was able to sustain, but not that much. The Great Wall with a great timing. So game number 2, can Neutron come back and actually use that momentum to say, you know what, I can beat this guy? Or does the Great Wall just snowball? We're going to find out game number 2 on Northern Isles. Okay, in the bottom left, we do have the Great Wall as the human. And, of course, Neutron as the elf. And it looks like he's going to go forward AOW just to creep out that consumable right away. So, could be looking at some Keeper again.
Some Keeper. Warden is possible on this map. Not likely to see a Demon Hunter, of course. But, yeah, most likely Keeper. The Great Wall, he's the real question mark, though. Expansion much more likely on Northern Isles. But do you stick with what worked? Or is he a little bit scared? Because, you know, the timing, it took quite a while to eventually, you know, spoon out Neutron last game. So maybe he'll switch it up, go for that expansion, 2 base, 2 base. Maybe that's what Neutron wants to play, though. A macro game. Probably more experience in this matchup. And it will be the Keeper. Will be the Archmage. Standard so far.
One of those timings that you hit on CH where you win, but you feel dirty. You feel like you beat the better player. You know what I mean? You know, obviously the Great Wall's a great player, probably on par with Neutron, but when you win a game like that, so scrappy and so close, it could be discouraging. But then again, a win's a win. And maybe the Great Wall doesn't shake it up. But, you know, the Great Wall is known for these timings. I mean, he can definitely expand and tech up and go late game. But if he wants to hit a timing, he does that really well. And he's really good at making the game his tempo. Like that harass, just to turn that into the tier 2 push that he did was beautifully done. And, you know, Neutron was always at his mercy. So can he do that again on NI? We're going to find out.
Yeah, it's important to do that much damage as well. Like, if the Great Wall doesn't do, like, that much damage to canceling the buildings, delaying the lures, doing damage to the Moon Juice before he hits at daytime, Neutron certainly holds if there's no damage being done. If he's forced back right away, the timing just doesn't work. So it's crucial for the Great Wall to do that sort of a harassment that early of a level 3 Archmage. But he's going to have an early expansion, it's looking like this game. Immediately going towards there. And this is kind of what Infi and TH do as well. Immediate expansion creep right away as early as possible against Night Elf because you know you have the space. Because of course Neutron's creeping to level 2, maybe even level 3 sometimes. So you have the time to get that Arcane, to get that tower up, and that expansion as well.
Spiking a little bit on the server, but hopefully it just powers through.
Yeah, I get a little bit of spikes on this sometimes as well.
Which server is this?
Scouts. EU East 4.
Oh, okay. Yep. Not me, guys. It is the Flow server, which is fine, but it is what it is. We still got I'm sure the quality is really good. You guys can let me know. I saw a little bit of spikes there. Just let me know if it's well, there's not much I can really do about it, but just let me know if it's all right. Keeper coming across, and obviously going to be able to scout this expansion. He does have Treants. He does have Entangled. Nice blocks on the footy, though. Oh my god!
Him away from the trees. Yeah, he's not letting him get to the trees to summon Treants because, of course, if he summoned them from the north trees, they would just be killed off before they get to the peasants. So that block, very, very heads up from the Great Wall. He's going to defend this expansion without a tower. Is Neutron going to expand himself? Not quite yet. He's going for an Ancient of Wonders, continuing to produce archers. It's not looking like a counter expansion sort of game from Neutron. We'll see if he goes for a Huntress Hall soon, but if he doesn't soon, with this early of a shop, with this many archers being produced, if he continues to build them, with even a 4th Moonwell now, maybe he's just going to try to break this expo.
Okay, and right away, Peasants coming out, needs wood, is the Great Wall for that tier 2 tech. Archers been creeping by themselves, actually, now creeping with the shop, and the Keeper's been getting a lot of experience off screen right now. Okay, finally the treants do come in. Some damage coming in before that arcane. These treants trying to get max value, but they're actually stuck.
Look at that tower positioning. Yeah, that's sick from the Great Wall. He can even repair with all 5 when he chooses to do so. If that's on purpose, that's a beautiful tower position. Maybe, you know, yeah, the treants are just fully surrounded now. Nice deny from Neutron, but, you know, it's a long ways away. He actually breaks the crates, or barricades, I should say, to let the treant out, but, you know, it's not going to go too far. Going to probably be denied if the Great Wall doesn't play perfectly around this, and this might be too much attention to detail, especially when you're on a 2 base. Attacks, a treant. Will it give experience? This is going to determine the whole game. No, it's denied.
Keep her very close to level 3, though, and one footy would do it. Double racks, second one being built at the expansion. Lumber mill coming down. The Great Wall understands the importance of trying to get some guard towers for defense, but also going to see that blacksmith come out probably, maybe even before the tech. We'll keep an eye on that. Wood still a factor for the Great Wall. But looks like he's going to go into double racks rifles. But right now, just pumping out some footies. I don't blame him. You know, before you get that tech down and that blacksmith, just make like 10 footies. It's always worth.
Yeah, no, this is a great play from the Great Wall. He actually did this last week. You go 2 racks defend footies early to defend against this Archer Naga pressure, as we do see a lot of archers coming through for Neutron. And then you just go into Knights and Priests and you go tier 3 off your expansion. No rifles even ever, unless you're against, of course, air units or you need them against Dryads or something. But until then, you can just continue to produce footmen. And you know what? They're a lot less value than rifles, so an entangle's barely even worth it. You'd rather save your entangles for, most of the time, the water elementals even. But there's one to catch up that one footman, which is going to fall. But these footmen just doesn't really matter. They're going to feed experience, but they're more often than not going to defend this expansion for the Great Wall.
Treant's getting some pretty good value right now. Arcane Vault shop being built at the expansion. The Great Wall, you know, kind of losing a lot here, but if he sits behind his expansion, maybe not a big issue. Like you said, constantly pumping out more and more footies. Happy to feed them. And right now the expansion lives. Is there a tech in tier 2? There is a tech almost halfway done for the Great Wall. So far so good. And actually shop being built proxy for Neutron. Oh, are we really seeing
Talons.
That? Oh, yep. Yeah.
And that's a great counter to these 2 racks footies. This is where you may need to see rifles. For sure, there could be a blacksmith built at any time, but of course the Great Wall, it's more common just to see pure archers into late lures, but to see these talons, the Great Wall might be caught out a little bit. We're seeing this more and more commonly, which I love to see from the Night Elf's point of view. The first talon is here, the Great Wall. How does it react? I think a blacksmith going down would be a decent choice, of course. The Fairy Fire, the magic damage is great against the footmen and the water elementals and the towers, which is why this strategy is so strong. And there's a blacksmith. As soon as he sees that first talon, blacksmith coming down, but can the Great Wall hold on long enough against this talon push?
Yeah, it defends all fun and good, but Fairy Fire is really good against footies. Yeah. And now the footy count doesn't look as scary as it does before. Shop is helping out, and the Great Wall might actually be able to heal some of these footies in the back, but there's so much elf here in Neutron, looking very clean with this timing, and now that the dots are coming in, look at the difference in sieging this right now. Footies are dropping left, right, and center. Nice deny from the Great Wall. He's still trying to buy some time. Right now actually cuts the footy production because he wants rifles, and here comes the double pump rifles now out of the double racks. Pulls the boys. He's trying to get some. He needs to push this back. He needs to buy time for some rifles right now, but there's still so many archers too, Carson. And I feel like, you know, even if there's 4 rifles here, this is still a strong elf army.
Yeah, he's kept a couple of footmen alive, but you kind of need like 6, 7 footmen and then like 4 rifles behind it. And then it becomes an easy fight for the human. But until that point, the rifles are going to be picked apart one after the next. Probably an entangle on this rifle even. Oh, don't want to get in range of the towers though, Neutron. Yeah, he's going to lose the only entangle he had. He's got a clarity, but he's taking a lot of damage, a little bit out of position. Could buy a potion of mana. Does indeed. Potion of mana, entangle on that rifle. The towers are being killed. There's still one more tower up though. The Great Wall is tier 2. Arcane Sanctum. Mountain King on the way out. Mountain King the right choice? Question mark, perhaps. Go for Hero Focus. And yeah, this is very much all in for Neutron right now, though. He's not building any lures. He's got a Huntress Hall. No, he doesn't even have a... Okay, he does have a Huntress Hall, but no tier 3 tech.
Yeah, Mountain King, I think, is a great call. I mean, any bolt is going to kill the unit, especially if you get into Clap later on. This army composition is going to be Archer Dot primarily, so I like the idea of the Mountain King a lot. Arcane, still, this positioning is so good for the Arcane. Oh, but everything's starting to kind of get focused down for the Great Wall. This is tough. The Mountain King finally comes into the fray. Bolt could come on the Naga. He's a little bit out of position. Bolt comes on the Keeper this time.
One more entangle. The Militia's being called yet again. The Militia's still very healthy for the Great Wall, and, you know, with no Alchemist, over time these units will start to fall one after the next. Look, 3 archers very low, a couple others at half health, so 1 bolt will get 1 kill, and over time, the Great Wall will get ahead in supply if he's able to pick apart some units. So the Neutron, I can't stress it enough, he's really got to get some damage done right now or transition.
Great Wall's chipping away here. Like, look at all the archers low. The Neutron's actually respecting this a lot and backing off completely. The Great Wall's holding, and the longer he stays, like, his macro's not slipping up.
There's Breakers now, too, coming out. Breakers are the perfect counter, of course, to these towns. Steal the Fairy Fire. They can't be attacked by the towns. They're good against the archers, even. Breakers are a beautiful counter. Could even get a second Sanctum if he has the Lumber, the Great Wall. And he can go into Priest, of course, with this 1 Sanctum. And okay, Neutron's going to go into a single Ancient Allure. He's going to heal up, and he's going to push again with full mana. The question is, how much time will the Great Wall have? He might have enough time, Ricky. Okay, does he have enough lumber, though? That's the real issue for the Great Wall. Not a lot of lumber, or else he could just break up to 60 supply, but he's already got a 15 supply advantage. The Great Wall is looking in shape to actually 2-0 Neutron if he holds this timing right now.
Still going to be tough. Still going to be tough. I think the Great Wall would love to maybe creep the shop or the marketplace and try to get some creeping for this Mountain King, but not going to be the case. Instead, Neutron's going to take at least the shop, and I don't even think the Great Wall can contest this. You don't want to go mid-map against Entangle without the Priest Dispel, and I think Priest Dispel isn't even done yet. No, it's 75% done. What item did he get? Oh, he sold it. What was it?
Oh, I didn't actually see.
Me neither. I missed
I don't know what it would have been.
What would you sell?
Can't imagine. Like, I don't think Rune Bracers he would sell. Sobi Mask he wouldn't sell. Any of the auras. Oh, Vamp Aura.
Oh yeah, he would sell
that. That's the only one that he would sell. Yeah, Vamp Aura. Or maybe Quel'Thalas. Those 2. That's it. One of those 2. Guaranteed. Go check the VOD. Guaranteed one of those 2. All right. There's Breakers, though. There's Rifles. Neutron's trying to tech into lures, into Mountain Giants to be specific, which is going to be great, of course, because there's no Tier 3 tech for the Great Wall. He would be able to go Tier 3 for 2 Rax Knights in the future to deal with the Mountain Giants, but it's going to be quite a while. Neutron's going to have Mountain Giants before the Great Wall has Knights. So maybe a chance for Neutron. The hero levels are great as well. The hero focus is great as well, but he's down quite a bit of the supply right now. 12.
Yeah, the Great Wall's been macroing like a beast. This bank looks really good. Now he just needs to take a good fight. He's starting to gain map control now, but the Mountain King still level 1 is still a problem. Needs to find a way to creep and buy time, but Neutron's just always in his face, and until these Mountain Giants start to bulk up in mass, I think the Great Wall just wins these fights every time.
Yeah, Tier 3's in, so there will be 2 Mountain Giants with upgrades now for Neutron, but I think he's got to go for a fight pretty soon. He's got to leverage this tech advantage that he does have because the Great Wall's going Tier 3 on his side, and these hero levels are getting a lot scarier if he's able to creep. Nice Fork Lightning to steal that creep away. Crystal Ball, not what the Great Wall was looking for. Neutron could find a decent positioning here.
He stole the whole camp, Neutron.
Yeah. Rightfully his. But definitely important to keep this Mountain King on low levels. If there's level 2 clap, there's no mana burn, you just imagine the damage. So, do not want to let this Mountain King get level 3.
Chat's saying he sold Rune Bracers.
Rune Bracers. He does need the gold, to be fair to him. It's good if you have the luxury of keeping all the items. But, you know. And of course the Mountain King's level 1 the whole time, so... Yeah. Respectable. He needs the gold. He does need the gold. It wasn't a game-winning item.
Okay, interesting. The Great Wall going to start going over to that red camp. Red camp would be a great camp to creep up. And actually, Neutron not committing to the rest of the marketplace. I think he wants to jack him here. And the Treant scouts exactly what the human's doing. And if you're Neutron, you're thinking that a jack right now would be so good.
There's a ward, though. Yeah, there's a ward there to see for the Great Wall. Orb of Venom is also great for Neutron. This is the fight he needs to win. He's also banking, by the way, 1,000 gold. But the Great Wall is 72 supply with 800 gold himself. Town Portal out. Kills one Talon, gets out. Didn't lose anything, I don't think. Didn't even lose that Priest at the end. And this Tier 3 is about to kick in. And he's got enough supply to get a couple of Knights on top with some Sundering Blades. And then I think this army will be unstoppable for the Great Wall, especially with Inner Fire behind this, a Paladin even. You'd have to go to high upkeep to get Knights and a Paladin, but Why not do it? Why not do it? Neutron hasn't even crept his expansion. Reveal at the same time the Tree of Life goes down, but I don't believe the Great Wall saw it.
Warsong Battle Drums for Neutron, that's okay, but yeah, I mean, the later this goes, I mean, Neutron's army won't scale in the late game. Once these Knights come out, it's already 76 supply, and it's debatable whether the Great Wall even loses a fight right now. The Great Fight. Well, that's going to take place in a bit, but yeah, this army just doesn't scale well, man. Archers just get clapped. Literally.
Staff coming in, Inner Fire coming in, the first Knight coming in. No Paladin quite yet, but it's not too necessary. As long as you get an invul on the Mountain King, who is now level 3, this is a huge level up. Pendant of Energy even. I really just don't see a way for Neutron to win. He's 46 supply. He's trying to bank. He's doing exactly what he can. He's expanding behind it. But the Great Wall, just look how terrifying he is. He's got his first Knight. Sundering Blades on the way. Inner Fire's here. As soon as he loses a couple of these, the footmen he has, maybe a couple of these rifles, he can get a Paladin and even more Knights. Don't know. I just don't know how you can win a fight. Shredder being purchased. If the Great Wall gives Neutron too much time and then he's stuck on these rifles against Mountain Giants, perhaps that's the way that Neutron can win, but the Great Wall is going to have to give him a lot of respect and a lot of time for Neutron to be able to win a fight.
Yeah, Neutron's at 50 supply, and until the Shredder, I mean, the Shredder kicking in is a great call because he's so low on wood. Now he can, like you said, he can actually start to transition into something that he wants to do if the Great Wall is going to buy him this time.
Yeah. And the archers are great, right? All the talons have died, which is nice because the talons are essentially useless. I mean, they're just going to die to the rifles and the breakers.
All right, so the Great Wall is ready to fight. I mean, 89 supply. What more do you want? A bunch more Knights coming in. Need the items. Maybe, I don't know, maybe even get a TP if you want to just go back and after a good fight and recoup. He's got a Zeppelin as well for microing against the... I assume he might even drop the Knights. That would be dope. Drop the Mountain King, that would be dope.
Yeah, that would be good. But there's a lot of archers in the air as well. There's going to be 100 supply for the Great Wall, though. And you know what? Look at the timing. He's pushing as soon as the expansion's about to root. And the Paladin's going to be out. There's going to be more Knights out. He's calling the boys. He's calling the militia because his lumber is great. Neutron finding a decent timing to buy a little bit of time for his expansion. If he can just poke and prod like he did on Concealed Hill and buy time, maybe he can even up the supply kind of. He's going 64 with like 4 Mountain Giants in total. And maybe with 4, maybe with 6 Mountain Giants, this fight is, Night Elf favored. But as it looks right now, look at this army. Look at the supply. Look at the army. Terrifying.
Neutron on the verge of being swept 2-0. And the Great Wall about to go into the semifinals of DuSt League. What a performance. On paper, I mean, in the top 16, you definitely pegged him as like the weakest player on paper. And he's not showing it now. He's playing so good. And that's this human versus Night Elf matchup. It's so strong. Okay, Neutron dives into the expansion. He's going to pick up a lot of peasants here.
This is nicely done. Very nicely done. He can get another Fork Lightning even and go for more peasants. Yeah, he's killing as many as he can. Then he'll town portal out. I think that was even 4, 5, 6 peasants going down. 1 archer killed in the end. Not even a second, so. And look how much time he bought. The expansion's not fully mining. This whole time, the Great Wall, high upkeep, Ricky. And this whole time, Neutron going to low upkeep with Mountain Giants. 4 Mountain Giants in total. He's going into Bears. He may have bought enough time. Again, Neutron, despite being so far behind, is doing everything he can to come back in this game, and he's doing it beautifully. But he's still down by 20 supply. His expansion has still not yet mined, and Neutron still needs probably more time.
Yeah, this is a supreme army. You talked about the Paladin coming into the mix now. He's here. Paladins, the Knights are 1-1. Mountain Giants have 1 armor upgrade, but these archers, which is a big bulk of this army, is just like fodder at this point. The Mountain King, obviously 1 clap. We saw what happened. And the Mountain King's trying to get a good surface area here. I don't even know if Neutron can hold. This is going to be so tough. 4 Mountain Giants are pretty good. 1's down to half health already. But how do you even fight this? Like, look at the rifles are in the back, the Knights in the front. There's a perfect positioning for the Great Wall.
Yeah, the Mountain Giant's holding strong, though. 1 Knight's going to fall. No, nice staff out by the Great Wall. Illusions on the Knights in the front. Neutron kiting back. Hasn't really taken a lot of damage. He hasn't eaten a clap yet. His Mountain Giants is still very, very strong. He's already forced the staff. Zeppelin going to pick up to save that Paladin that certainly would have died. Yeah, the claps are not great. And this Mountain King could definitely fall. There's no way to heal it. Heal scroll, maybe. Zeppelin, actually. Okay, that's a way to save it. Nicely using the Zeppelin. Neutron's still standing, but 2 of the Mountain Giants are falling low. There's so many archers in the back. A lot of damage, actually. Again, Neutron doing everything he can. 1 Mountain Giant going to fall, though. The second one is surrounded. The 3rd and 4th are getting close to half health.
Oh, he's trying to stop it. Yeah, he's trying to stop, but it's not going to work out. I think the Great Wall's totally fine with making this a long, dirty fight, too, because he's trying to whittle down these Mountain Giants. It looks like Neutron's surviving, but really he is slowly crumbling. The Keeper getting very, very low. The Moonwell juice is almost going to be gone after he saves the Keeper. It's completely dry. Daytime hits now. Mountain King has tons of mana. Still has one of mana stealing, actually.
Damn, the Great Wall, man. The first bear is out. There's very good positioning throughout the entire fight for Neutron. One more Knight potentially going to fall. Staff should be off cooldown. There it is. The expansion still mining the Mountain Giant Liv that was surrounded earlier by the barricades. Neutron hides in the back of his base. No shop back here, though. The shop is no longer alive, as it seems. So if there was a shop by where that Shredder's mining, Moonstone, some potions. We saw Sed doing this in the same position, honestly, against the Great Wall, and the Great Wall lost a lot of units before closing the game out, but, you know, this is still 94 supply for the Great Wall. The Dispels are good, the Bears are falling, the Mountain Giants are falling.
Getting great value out of the Zeppelin as well.
Yeah.
A lot of low Knights that probably could have died, but yeah, this is just a slow chip away. Neutron is supply blocked. He is at 79 supply, and the Mountain Giants are still alive, but it just seems like the Great Wall is just playing with his food. He doesn't look like he's in any danger at all. One Mountain Giant falling as well. That's going to hurt. Neutron, now he's pulling the Wisp just to save this expansion. The Great Wall behind this, we didn't check, but he did try to put expansion down instead of just putting some towers. Ancient Wind trying to take that down, but the tree for Neutron, this is a very important tree, and it goes down, and actually a TP out from the Great Wall, and why not?
2 rifles fall on the tail end, though, but Neutron holds on, and you know what? The Great Wall's high upkeep this whole time. And what's his expansion? His expansion's about to run dry. 300 gold in the expansion, 900 in the main base. Neutron 900 in his main base as well, but he's already gained Nature's Blessing. Neutron trying to hold on as much as he can. And yeah, the Great Wall, this is as big as his army's ever going to get. The high upkeep gold, he's going to get, what, 200 gold from these 2 bases remaining on high upkeep? He's not even going to be able to really afford to get another expansion. He's going to have to build it with 1 peasant or sell items to get another base up. So Neutron, if he can continue to hold on, he's getting the next red camp. Going to get Naga level 5.
He doesn't really have items. He doesn't really have items that he can sell, the Great Wall, that is.
Yeah.
So he really, I don't think he's getting an expansion up unless he long distance mines for a bit, which he's going to start doing with the 5 peasants.
He's coming again. Can Neutron really do this twice? He's even out of position. His Mountain Giants are still low. He's going to lose the Moonwells he has. Like, level 5 Naga's great. Would love to see level 3 Fork Lightning. But the Great Wall, man, I feel like he could just push and kill him at any point. He's even, yeah, okay, he is maybe going for that expansion, but where's the gold?
Is he going to get enough? I don't know.
He's only going to get 50 gold from this 200 remaining. Even less, right? Yeah, less than that. He's long distance mining, but again, he can only build it with 1 peasant. And Neutron is going to walk his Tree of Eternity over. He's at 70 supply, Ricky. And 70 supply tier 3 with the archers, with the bears, with the Mountain Giants, with the double orb, level 5/5 on his heroes. And the Great Wall has a lot stuck in rifles, which are really just going to melt to the Fork Lightning. Again, just so impressed by Neutron. The Great Wall has been in the driver's seat this entire series. Full credit to him for playing this beautifully as well. But Neutron, just his ability to hold on throughout and find ways back into the game has been so impressive.
Did you mention that Neutron got Unholy?
No, I did not mention. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And the Mountain Giants are at high health again. Oh, the Tree of Eternity could be caught out, though. Neutron has to be wary of this. This is his way back in, keeping this Tree of Eternity alive. He's going to go down, maybe even go to the red camp with that. It's a little bit safer.
Player's forces are under attack.
Okay, I mean, Neutron's going to try to hold again. He's got some Moonwell juice here. It's nighttime. This would be like the best. Oh, Chimru's in the back. Can he wait that much time? I don't think so, dude. I don't know if there's going to be that much time, but that would be nuts.
Tree of Eternity may live. I think the Great Wall understands how much Neutron values this. 1 Knight falling. Oh, this positioning is awful for the Great Wall. Look at all the damage. 2 Knights fall immediately. Neutron, the supply is evening up. Okay, the Great Wall is expanding, but as I pointed out, only with 1 peasant. It's going to take at least another minute and a half to get that bad boy up. The claps are good. The bear's in the front. 1 rifle falls. Neutron trying to just poke and prod. Staff out. Saves that bear. Naga out of position, though. There is Invuln and Healthstone, but can he last? Can he hold? There's the Invuln. Oh, I feel like the Great Wall is just going to keep holding this expansion. Or keep holding the this round, rather. There's
Lots of archers, though. Needs to get damage from these Venom Orb. I don't know if there's enough damage here to actually wither down one Knight trying to get focused down. This is still a weird... This is a bad position for the Great Wall still. Look at all the archers in the back.
The Fork Lightning level 3 is so good as well. A couple of bears are getting low, but remember, there's always going to be the staff. Neutron going to back off with some Moon Juice. He's got plenty of Moon Juice in the main base, and you know what? There's a Chim on the way as well. Oh my, I think Neutron's won the game. The Paladin's level 3, though. The Paladin is level 3, the Archmage is about to be level 5, but Knight after Knight is dying. Fork Lightning level 3 is so good. That's a mistake I pointed out that Sed made going for Frost Arrow level 3. And Smiley Face, oh my god, Neutron, what a comeback. But the Great Wall has his third base almost up.
Yeah, the Great Wall needs to get this base up. The collapse have finally started to be good. I think this is the first time the Mountain King's even had Archer range this entire game. He hasn't been able to get up there at all. The Mountain Giants starting to fall. The Bears, there's still a lot of Rifle Caster here, and maybe the Great Wall can make this work because the hero levels for the human are good. Trying to focus down the Bears.
You gotta be careful with a hero kill.
Mountain King.
Either player would net the victory, but the Mountain King is the first to fall. Now there's no Stormbolt, no chance of a hero kill on the side of the Great Wall. Expansion is up, but not mining yet for the Great Wall, who has now 47 supply. Actually, dead even in supply right now. This was 96 against 50, I think, at one point. 96 against 60. Tree of Eternity's marching over, finally going to root level 6 on the Naga, who is out of mana. The Great Wall not mining his expansion still. Oh, the Keeper. You imagine if there was a Stormbolt here, right?
Oh, man.
When it's hero against hero.
Yeah, if this Mountain King was still alive. Holy Light probably on this Knight to keep him alive. Yep. Push is still on, and Neutron still has the Tree of Eternity here. What's the expansion like? Okay, finally the Great Wall able to get the expansion rolling. What is he going to build, though? I mean, yeah, and if you're...
Mountain King for starters.
Yeah, and if you're Neutron, I mean, I would sit on these Chims. You don't need to reveal them. Oh, he's not even building a second one. Yeah, okay, he's only... Yeah, you got to show your cards.
There is a Town Portal out, and both players are on one base now, so it's not as though, like, one player is all in here. Right, the expansion... Neutron may not know which red camp the expansion's at, so that will buy the Great Wall a little bit of time.
This Naga. Look how tanky the Naga is, actually, at level 6. Oh, everything's dying for the Great Wall. 39 supply against 30. Oh.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait for your Mountain King Great Wall. He's gotta wait for it. He's a little bit too overcommitted here. They're both on one base. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, you were 96 supply, and now you have 37, but... You get your Mountain King back, your hero levels are great as well, your tier 3 as well. You know, you don't have to completely go in, unless Neutron just goes straight to the expansion right now. Then the Great Wall would have to do something immediately.
Yeah, so far the Great Wall getting that time. I don't think he's going to be able to save this Knight. Staff's on cooldown, and that's a big unit. There's still no answer to this Chimera.
Yeah, will there ever be, really? Priests are coming out. Yeah, what army do you build? Knights are coming out. Rifle was staffed. Water elementals are being dealt with easily. Where's the Mountain King? Okay, almost 50% out. What a crazy game.
Neutron able to hold 40 against 40, but what's there for the Great Wall? Yeah, he needed to wait for that Mountain King, and I feel like he lost some crucial units that he probably didn't need to. He's building Knights and Priests, so how is he going to rely on the anti-air for this Chimera? Is he going to focus just with the Archmage and the Water Elementals? Is that the play, and just keep the ground army strong? I think that might be the only chance that he has. If he goes into Rifles, they will just get killed right away.
Well, you know what? Stormbolt, once the Stormbolt's available, that Chimera is not going to be so scary after all, because it's really the main damage source against the Water Elementals, right? When the Water Elementals come out, the Chimera deals with them. So if you Stormbolt, focus it down with a Water Elemental that cannot be countered, except for, you know, the heroes and the archers, maybe there's a way to kill it, but there's always going to be more gold. Only one base economy, of course. And Neutron, now he knows. He scouted the other red camp first, which is good for the Great Wall, but now he's going to the correct expansion, the Mountain King. Almost out, but all the peasants are going to fall, certainly.
Ooh, and you need this. You need this. Did the Great Wall buy enough time? I don't think so. 42 supply against 46. Neutron's actually getting in the lead. Oh, the bear could get surrounded, but it doesn't.
Oh, no. I don't know if that's worth the time, actually. Just go for the expansion, the Great Wall. Okay, but yeah, he's not even going to get the bear. The Mountain King coming across. The army's decent for both players now, but it's 49 against 40. Block. There's no mana on the Naga, though. The mana on the Naga is what carried Neutron in the previous fights. And here's the Mountain King. And of course, there's Brilliant Sora here. Level 2 Brilliant Sora. There's the Stormbolt staff used. Oh, the Paladin has full mana, though. Are the heroes enough for the Great Wall? Archers are going to start falling. Water Elementals are up in the air.
You need to bolt this Chimera. You need to get this Chimera out of the fight. It'll change everything for the Great Wall. I think the Great Wall's still chipping away here. A Mountain Giant pickoff would be huge.
Oh my god. The Great Wall. Remember, the Great Wall's expansion is not mining. It's dealt with, but his army is terrifying right now.
Yeah, I really like the decision to just keep the Knight count going and focus that Chimera with just your Archmage with the Water Elementals and the token rifles that you do have, because this is going to come down to ground army.
Oh my god. And the Mountain King is all he needed. There's a Stormbolt. Dead Bear. Chimera could be dead to the next one. The Paladin is such a crucial carry here. Another Archer falls. The trades are incredible. This Mountain King, such a nice boon to the army. But don't forget, the Naga, forfeiting level 3, could go for kills himself. There's Dryads now out too to deal with the Water Elementals. Neutron's held on, it seems, long enough. Town Portal out by the Great Wall, not before he loses a Knight and maybe even a Rifle. Not quite, but it's 50 against 35. And he can't deal with that Archer at the expansion, the Great Wall. Oh, maybe a Clap to deal with it? I don't know.
Could reveal, but he doesn't yet. But yeah, I mean, this is really back and forth. 56 supply. I mean, Neutron still has the supply lead, but everything is like these 3 heroes with Aura is just so strong right now. This Chimera, once this Chimera falls, maybe even the Mountain Giant too, this army will look a lot different. Trying to cut off reinforcements, but there are none. I like the heads-up play that Neutron has, man. He really knows what's up. He actually might be able to pick off this rifle just because of that.
That's great. The units, there's not a lot of them. Neutron is on 57 supply now, so he's starting to get, you know, in a similar position the Great Wall was with the 20 supply advantage earlier, but the heroes were not this strong back then.
Town is under siege.
An ultimate. Is there an ultimate that can save the day for either of these players? Well, that ultimate's going to be great for Neutron to heal up this Chimera. The main base is exposed, forcing the Great Wall to defend.
Everything fully healed, ready to fight, and this is Neutron's timing. 2 more Dryads come into the play, 65 against 40, and everything kind of looks good for Neutron right now. Trying to go for the heroes is the Great Wall, knowing that that's his way out. Clap on the Keeper. The Keeper doesn't... He does have an invul, though. This might be the wrong hero to go for.
Oh, the Mountain King surrounded. We saw him falling earlier. The rifles falling. How do you deal with the Mountain Giant, though? Very difficult. Bolt, Hero Focus may be the answer. Staff is on the wrong hero, but the Mountain King, there's the invuln. Is there a Dispel? No, there's no way to save the Mountain King. And, yep, the Great Wall taps out. Neutron holds the door and ties up the series 1-1. Jesus, 32-minute game on Northern Isles, and somehow Neutron finds a way to win.
Game number 3. The Neutron versus the Great Wall. And here we go. Omega lol.
Baby name reveal, aka Twisted Meadows, is my child's name. For good reason.
And this could be, with the Great Wall, this could be a 3-hour game, guys. I hope you strapped in. Hope you're ready to go. In the top bottom left, we do have the Great Wall. In the top right, we do have Neutron. It looks like Flow forces cross spawn so far, because the 2 times we've done this, it has been cross.
Does indeed work, because we told the players if it was not cross spawn, we would rehost, because it's supposed to be now, which is what we decided for this tournament. And so far, the few times we have had Twisted Meadows, always cross spawn. So good. I do believe it is forced now on the default Flow version, and we're going to see Archmage against Keeper. No new things, but you know, you imagine if we saw a game like last on a map like Twisted Meadows, there could be a lot more expansions. And perhaps even island expansions are a good win condition for some players. Some players like the Great Wall, Ricky.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's a Night Elf and a human on TM. I'm ready to rock and roll. This is going to be a long one, I think. I mean, if Northern Isles is a long one, then with these 2 style, I mean, you could see the Great Wall go for the same type of thing. Maybe he goes for an Expo.
I mean, it worked, right? It worked.
Yeah. No, it did until it didn't. But it really did, though. I think it was mostly just the Great Wall kind of throwing.
Neutron just honestly, you know, kind of outclassing him. this series, finding such nice win conditions, finding nice little advantages he can gain, and he just always knows what to do to get back into these series. And we'll see if he's able to do so. The Great Wall found an edge both games. It's not as though he cannot take this win here. He's definitely earned it, but Neutron just, you know, he can't let Neutron outplay him like he has been, which is, you know, easier said than done.
Okay, so far so good for the Archmage. He gets Scourge Bone Chimes.
Can you believe we used to power build to do that? Used to do a whole different build order just to creep that safely. Now you just pull it with a footy. Easy peasy. Look at the health on everything. We used to way overcommit to creeping that. Then you get an XP tome and you're level 3, 4 minutes into the game. This is so weird.
Yeah, this map used to be a lot different. Yeah, that's true. The power build alter right close too. Like
it's like a specific build for this map just to creep that camp. But now look at us. Look how far we've come. And look how far the keepers come. On the aggressive now. Great Wall side of the map looking for that expansion. Perhaps Neutron will expand himself as well, but he is teching for the now.
Okay, Archmage gonna be creeping up here. Defend about to finish for the Great Wall, so far so good. The Keeper's trying to find this army, and he should be able to find him now.
Yep, Entangle could come through on one of these footmen, but everything's so high health because of the Bone Chimes. It's such a nice early game. It's also going to be good in the late game for potential Knights as well, right? But just everything being crispy high health for the human is such a good feeling, because it's annoying to, you know, have to build that shop earlier than you have to heal everything up. So Great Wall's probably smiling, and he's also going tier 2, so he's trying to get level 3, but he's not going to be able to get it early enough to do the amount of damage he did on Concealed Hill. So maybe a different strategy, but also different from Neutron. A very early Tree of Life to the right-hand side of the map. All right, Militia are going to be called to the right-hand side of the Great Wall's base, but they're going to be caught out. One peasant going to fall. Nicely scouted by Neutron. But the Great Wall going into Neutron's base with only level 2 Archmage, but this is still deadly, can still do a lot of damage. I imagine Dust of Appearance are going to be purchased by this Archmage. And perhaps the Huntress Hall could be canceled. This is something the Great Wall didn't go for in the first game. Maybe it's the better call to just go for Wisps, of course. The Huntress Hall cancel may not be as detrimental as I'm giving it credit for being. But still, there's an open season on this base. Neutron's creeping right now. Gets level 3, gets a potion of greater mana, and he's going to Town Portal back. One Moonwell being pressured. Interesting choice. One Archer healed up nicely. Defend is online, but as is level 2 Entangle. The Wisp actually detonated the Entangle, so he's not going to get that kill, but he will get the Water Elemental. The Bone Chimes, so much value. And there's a lot of footmen coming in. And Militia did now creep and secure that level 3 Archmage by the Great Wall's base. The Wisps are taking a lot of damage. We've been here before. But Neutron, level 3 Keeper, Mercenaries, Footmen are falling. The Detonates are on point. The Archmage is out of mana. I think this is a better defense than we saw on Concealed Hill coming through for Neutron. Right, greater mana could be invested as well. The Moon Juice is looking good as well. The Footmen are slowly falling. The Micro has been great. Okay, and we're going to see not a Blacksmith quite. Okay, there is a Blacksmith for the Great Wall, and he's going into Rifles soon.
This is the same kind of timing and pressure that we saw the Great Wall do previously. Just this right up in your face. A lot of footy still. And the Archers actually against Defend don't do much. And a couple Archers actually dropping. Uh-oh. Neutron's losing units and production. This is another great push from the Great Wall.
Oh, and the Panda and the Beastmaster. Again, the Tree of Life is up and not mining, but it's not that big of an investment, honestly. It's, you know, you invest into the later game, but for now, wishes he invests into a couple more Archers, perhaps. Neutron, because here comes the Beastmaster, defend footies. There's no lumber, really, for the Great Wall because he invested so much Militia time into getting that null camp for the level 3. So it's going to be a while before he gets Dispel, honestly, and this Keeper's putting in work. He's putting it on right now in a block, perhaps. Oh, this is going to be a Town Portal. And we've been here before. One Archer perhaps going to fall. Neutron with the beautiful Micro. All these Archers are going to get out, Ricky.
I cannot believe that the Archers actually survived there. That's pretty crazy. And the Archmage, I definitely thought the Archmage might even go down too, so everything's just kind of swishy and slipping through. The Keeper taking a bit of damage, but it's still nighttime. Could use the Moonwell juice. But now the Moonwells are getting targeted. There's still so many units here for the Great Wall. This push was the same push that we saw before, and Neutron actually...
Okay.
Neutron
Not good.
actually committing to this expansion too, so like, it's not like he's fully prepared to hold this. And now we're seeing the same timing. Here comes the Arcane Sanctum. Here comes the rifles.
It's going to be later, but of course, we even saw in Concealed Hill, had to town portal out the Great Wall, forgot his shop, couldn't heal the Archmage up, forgot his farm, had to get a priest late after Dispel. So it's not as though Concealed Hill went perfectly for the Great Wall, and he still managed to hit this timing and put in work. He actually hit, I think the 4th dot of day was when the towers were coming into the base of Neutron. So the Great Wall has some time if Game 1 is any proof. And now the shop is being found, the expansion is being found. I think it would be a little bit of a waste of time for the Great Wall to probably go for this expansion when he's going for such a tight timing. The archers are going to fall. The shop is certainly important. Oh, the keeper's surrounded by his own building, but probably better for him that he's a little bit safe due to that.
Oh, 2 archers actually died to creeps. Neutron just sacks them, but better than, I guess, feeding them to the Archmage. The Archmage looked like he was going to be able to run them down, but yeah, how does Neutron develop here? Lures are built everywhere. One lure outside of the Kobold, the other one near the expansion. So Neutron definitely knowing that if he tries to build in his main base, he's not going to be able to get it. But the reinforcements are going to be scattered all over the place and very slow to come back. But so far, so good for Neutron. I mean, now he's starting to pick off some footies, starting to use the entangles a lot more. But the Great Wall's still trying to rally some units. This is cross-spawn TM, so both players' reinforce is going to be a bit late.
Yeah. Alright, the Archmage might be forced into a town portal. There's a Breath of Fire. Do not overstay your welcome. And he is going to town portal out, but not before getting his units out. So the Archmage is going to be able to go back home. No shop, though. Not able to heal the Archmage up. And the Priest again built after the Dispel. I think that's something that Great Wall just does consistently, I suppose. Not sure why. The Archmage going to come across the map. The pressure is being kept up. The Panda, a little underwhelming thus far, has secured him a couple of kills against the defend footies, but maybe a Naga would have been stronger. Rifle caught out. The Breath, there's a good one. And the Clarity again, there's always going to be an entangle for Neutron.
Yeah, the Grey Wall's pulling the boys this time. He definitely wants to build some towers. Does he have a lumber mill? No lumber mill yet, but he does have, obviously, the blacksmith pumping up some upgrades, so he wants to keep this push going. But what do the militia do? Obviously, you want to build some arcanes, get this thing going. The footy actually trying to go for the shop. Both players are all over the place.
Yeah, I think that footy will lose the fight. The Archmage could be the choice for Neutron to go in for. The first priest is going to be here, and if you give that priest a couple seconds to heal up, then the Archmage will be safe again. The reinforcements being caught out, but the reinforcements are helped out by a bunch of rifles. That first priest, that's a crucial unit for Neutron to go for, and he realizes that going to dive and kill that. The shop is going to be power built, though, and the Archmage is going to be able to heal up soon enough. Neutron, can he hold on? He's in a better spot, I would say, than he was on Concealed Hill, and he held on so beautifully on that map, so maybe he can work a miracle yet again.
He's being so passive, too, and the Dryads are going to buy him so much more space because, obviously, the slow, and he's doing a beautiful job kiting. The militia haven't started to build towers in his main yet, so he hasn't had that threat, and he's able to pump out more and more units. Moonwall's all over the place. I mean, this is a really expanded Night Elf base. I mean, look at the spread of the buildings, and this is a heads-up play from Neutron. I think this is a really good idea, and look at the units he's picking up in the middle of the map.
Always. He picks off the second priest. There's been no real healing from those priests thus far. There was one Dispel in the Treants, but look how far the Great Wall has ran away from where his push is intended to be. And you know what? Even if he starts to siege, starts to build towers in the main base, he knows there's another Tree of Life. In the meantime, Neutron could maybe even sack his Tree of Ages, go for an expansion to the south. It wouldn't be great, but he still has lures up. There's a much better shot for Neutron this game. The Dryads are getting low, but he's buying so much time. He could go into the main base as no tower if he wanted to, Neutron.
Yeah, Neutron needs a bit more wood, so starting to pump out some more wisps out of the tree. The heroes don't have any good items for the Night Elf player, just popping the Scroll of Healing right now because he needed to get those units out of the red. They were also red, but Neutron's been doing a great job of holding them. So now it's 49. We're back to that style again. 50 supply for the Great Wall, and Neutron constantly chipping away. And this is a tough chip to do, man.
Yeah,
trying to get some units.
That was a really nice Dispel. He got the rifle that was entangled and all the Drunken Haze immediately. One Dryad gonna fall. The Great Wall maybe finding his stride. That Dryad not yet falling. Look at all the time being built, but now there's towers coming up. But as I pointed out, if you overinvest in the towers, the expansion is going to be rooted, going to be mined, and then you're going to have to expand in what was the main base of Neutron. The Great Wall, he's chasing him into his main base. Neutron's now going to confirm that there's no tower in the main base, but the Great Wall is going to remedy that. And the Panda's going to staff back to perhaps defend, but the Arcane's already up in the main base of Neutron.
Yeah, Lumber Mill actually being built in the main of Neutron as well, so he wants to start putting up guard towers. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually doesn't... Okay, he does make this third one a guard tower Arcane anyway. This is still a really strong push from the Great Wall, and I'm surprised the Great Wall's not just sieging him. He's okay with taking fights in the middle of the map. Yeah, finally, now he's going to start picking off units. The Keeper's actually exposed. The Keeper doesn't have items to get out, Carson. Oh, barely gets away.
Maybe Boots of Speed wouldn't be a bad investment choice for the Great Wall with this sort of a strategy if he has the gold, because then he can start to chase down these heroes, chase down these Dryads with the Archmage, and he would have, you know, netted himself a couple more kills. But he's going to net himself the main base, it's looking like. Here comes the Great Wall. Finally, this is what you're talking about. Just go to the main base. And at the same time, Neutron, this is what I was talking about. He's just going to creep his expansion and get that rooted. And then maybe he can, you know, somehow defend his main and be on 2 base against 1 if he can just keep holding on Neutron. But it looks as though he's going to lose his main base.
Gonna creep out the expansion, though, finally. And now the Great Wall needs to decide to... obviously siege the main and then go over to the expansion, so a little bit of a saving grace for Neutron because he will be mining if he can get this tree up. But yeah, I mean, this Tree of Age is going to go down so quickly. I think the Great Wall can even kill this and then work his way over to the expansion, and Neutron's on the back foot again. This is not good. I mean, the Great Wall can even take this base for himself if he wants.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great choice for him if he has the economy, which he does. He has the almost lumber and the gold, and it's not as though this expansion's hidden for Neutron. He knows about it. Neutron could even maybe go for another expansion and then repeat all over again. Wouldn't be a bad choice for him, because eventually the main base will run dry for the Great Wall. He's got 4K left, but doesn't last too long in these long drawn-out games.
Another game on paper where the Great Wall probably should not lose, guys. So if he does, it's Neutron playing out of his mind, calling it right now. There's literally no reason why the Great Wall should lose this, but Neutron, if he continues to pick off units like this and steal the units, then he could definitely find reasons level 3 on the Panda now, and this could be a huge breath of fire, and it is.
Heal scroll, that's first heal scroll used, first heal scroll purchased, and the Beastmaster gets level 3, but the Beastmaster is going to be very underwhelming against this amount of Dryads. Look at the bear. Watch the bear. All right, please, Neutron. Get rid of it. Deal with the bear. All right, not going to deal with the bear. The bear is going to get out, not going to give experience, but the Town Portal out for the Great Wall. Neutron is soon to be mining on his expansion. Again, I would love to see another base for Neutron, but he needs some gold to do so.
Yeah, the rifles count's getting pretty high now. 6 rifles plus 1 attack with the rifle upgrades, I believe. Yep, they do have them. Oh, and actually Neutron going for this camp. I don't know if this is the right play.
Oh, he might be able to snag the item, not before losing 1, maybe 2 Dryads. Take a look at the experience. He gets the Breath of Fire, gets the XP, gets the Belt of Giant Strength, and only loses 1 Dryad for it. But the Great Wall is getting very, very scary. 56 supply, and again, he knows about the expansion of Neutron. He scouted it earlier.
Yeah, not actually deciding to expand behind this is the Great Wall, which kind of weird, but I guess they're still on one base, and you know, the army supply obviously favoring the Great Wall, so it's fine.
Yeah. 58 supply, though. Might come to bite him, because the Dryads are so good at this style of play, as well as the Panda, as well as the Keeper. This is a perfect army for Neutron to buy time with, to play hit and run, to play a little lame, and he's proven to be very good at that throughout the series. So, you know, he can do it. He can find an edge, and even economy right now, except for the upkeep for the Great Wall, yet again, just like Northern Isles.
I have to say, though, the Great Wall, I mean, now he's got an Arcane and a Guard in his main. He's kind of doing like the computer AI where like if you target it, it'll just chase you across the whole map and you kind of buy time for Neutron. But I feel like he knows about the expansion. He should just go for it on Neutron's side, because that's the only reason why he's still in this game.
Yeah. And again, that's why I would love to see Neutron already have built another Tree of Life. His lumber has been hurting for the whole time, but yeah, just already build another Tree of Life, just like right where his upper lore is, or even like right here, build another Tree of Life, or it'd have to be a little further down, of course, but just get another one up and creep it, and then draw out the game so that it takes a while for the Great Wall to kill the first Tree of Life. But for now, oh my god, he's destroying this fight. 1 rifle, 1 priest falling. The Great Wall overcommitting to a creep camp when he could just push and win the game probably at that expansion a little while ago, but now he's losing a lot. The Panda's getting a lot of value. The Dryads are all kind of living as well.
Second Breath of Fire, really good. What items can be dropped? Mantle and what's... Oh, Scroll the Beast, okay. Now he's starting to pick off the Dryads after getting completely creepjacked. But I mean, yeah, it's like I feel like you don't need to creep anymore. The Great Wall, you can kind of just push because now you're buying Neutron more and more time. We start to see more Dryads popping out. The no tech to tier 2, and we probably won't see that because Neutron is just hurting for wood because, I mean, you can imagine switching your base like over like that. You haven't been able to build the wisps, and I don't think this wood count will be fixed until he, like, you know, figures out maybe if he can get a shredder or creep up the lab or do something. But, I mean, it's really, like, the Great Wall has such a big advantage right now. +2 attack on the rifles. I think you should just go.
Or expand, like you said, in the main base. The old main base that has 4,400 gold of Neutron, you could expand there very safely. Triple Arcane, what are you going to be able to do? The Dryads can't even be in range of those Triple Arcane towers. It would very much be safe, so... The Great Wall maybe a little bit indecisive. But he's still above in supply. Neutron's economy is still a little bit in shambles because of that lumber issue you pointed out. And even, like, the Great Wall could be going for the lures, and there's no tech. Right, and there's not going to be a tech for a while. He could be doing a lot of things. He scouted a lot of these proxy buildings, the Moonwells, the shop, the expansion, one of the lures he knows about. He could have been doing more than just chasing around the map, but now here he comes. And still, Neutron not in a position really to defend. He's got double heal scroll, 50 supply. The Panda's going to put in work, but you know, the Great Wall, I think he should get a heal scroll himself if he can even.
Yeah, it's a tough positioning to engage in, though, with just Dryads. As soon as they get into range, the rifle's just going to pot shot him. So I don't know if this is the right spot, but the Breath of Fire is pretty big. Could have been better. No Drunken Haze to go with that, but I mean, it probably could have just got dispelled. But now Scroll the Beast being used by the Great Wall. The Great Wall wants to put some damage down, and he wants to take this fight finally. Level 5 on the Archmage.
Oh, this is nice from the Great Wall as well. You see the 3 summons in the back just killing the Moonwells, right? Because the Dryads have to go past the rifles to deal with those summons. Whereas if they're up in the front tanking, they would just feed experience, feed the Panda close to level 5. So he's just going to take away the Moonwells. And if you take away the Moonwells, Neutron's going to be supply blocked and even down in supply further than he is right now. The Great Wall pressing forward. Neutron, he looks scary. But can he hold on? He's really got to hold on now. He's definitely out of position to go for a counterattack. And there's 2 priests in the main base now rallying across for the Great Wall.
Oh, now the Dryads try to jump on top of the summons, but they don't get in range. Yeah, I love that play, splitting off the summons like that. That was beautiful. But, you know, I feel like the Great Wall should still be pushing. He's so passive, man. Going to the shop to get some heal scrolls, okay, man. That's fine. But you got to go.
What could he do anyway? Like, he went Water Elemental level 3. Maybe Brilliance Aura level 3 would have been the better choice, but the priests are not going to benefit from that if they're caught out of position like this. A rifle going to be caught out as well by the Dryads. You know, at this point, I gave a lot of credit to Neutron earlier by buying a lot of time in map 1 and even map 2, winning it out there. At this point, I think the Great Wall is just giving him too much respect, in my opinion.
Far too much respect. I mean, how long have you really got to do this? You know, if you're not going to take the expansion, finally he decides to take the expansion on the main base. Is that what he's really waiting for? Is that a vote of confidence with the extra economy? That's fine. Then get it done. You know, but I feel like, you know, 65 supply. If you're sitting here, you've been watching Neutron run around the whole map, try to, you know, wither you down. You know that he doesn't have the tier 2 tech. You know that he only has double lures. You probably don't know the wood count situation, but you definitely know that you're in a good spot. And
the supply is good enough, too, that he doesn't, like, I think he's worried about his reinforcements, of course, but his army currently, where it is with the Archmage and the Beastmaster right now, is fine to fight. He doesn't even need any reinforcements he would have in the future. The main base has run dry for the Great Wall. The expansion is not up. Neutron has the economic advantage now.
Well, it's a good fight. This is a good fight for the Great Wall, and I'm so proud of him for taking this. But yeah, the rifles need to start withering down the Dryads. Actually, the Panda level 4.
No mana, though. The Dryads are falling. The priests microed nicely to the back. Actually, 3 of them saved on very low hit points. The Panda needs full mana to take these fights. The Panda probably needs level 5 to take these fights as well. And the summons may grant that for Neutron. But the Great Wall, just go. Just push the expansion. Kill the Moonwells, kill the shop, kill the tree, cut the head off the dragon, and well, whatever you're supposed to cut the head off of, and then win the game. The snake, win the game.
Yeah, and you know what? I really just think he needs to power through and just attack. You know, get that clump. You got so much damage DPS with these rifles right now. Get rid of this Moonwell. Just click something, man. There you go. Right click it, and then just go for the tree. Just go straight down for the tree.
Just Kill the buildings. Every time the Great Wall's gone for buildings, Neutron has respected it and came back and took a fight. We saw. He had to defend his buildings right there. He took an actual straight-up fight for the first time. If the Great Wall's not attacking buildings, Neutron will not fight him, despite how much chasing you do. You're not going to catch up. You're not going to get a fight. Just kill the buildings. He's towering up. The summons are taking care of the shop. He's mining now at the old main base of Neutron, but Neutron has the gold advantage in that. You imagine a world in which Neutron did get that second expansion up, although it'd be very difficult. It wouldn't be easy. He didn't have the economy, but if he had 2 bases mining right now, 70 supply Dryads, definitely a winnable game, but the Keeper taking a lot of damage, trying to get back to the Moonwells. The Panda, Breath of Fire, nice on the towers as well. The Dryads are trying to put in work on the Priests. If you can't deal with the Priests, that'd be very difficult for the Great Wall to deal with the Entangled. There's level 5 on the Keeper. The Panda out of mana. Where's the shop? Where's the Clarities that, of course, fell earlier? More Dryads are falling. 53 against 36 supply. The Great Wall, has he broken through?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give kudos to Neutron because these fights are not good for him. He's fighting with rifle range against +2 rifles with pure Dryad, but he's making it work. If you're the Great Wall, though, you need to just maybe stand on the right side of these Arcanes even. He's got to push through to get to you.
Yeah. And the Entangle, 1 unit after the next, but, you know, the 2-0 rifles, and there's no bears to heal up these heroes, so the damage they take is the damage they have to live with. Summons, again, nicely used. I like the summon split pushing so he doesn't feed this Panda level 5. That would be horrible. Feeding the Keeper level 6, Panda level 5. That's a win condition for Neutron, but the summons are what's going to have to do it, so... yeah, all 4 of them killing the Moonwell slowly. This is good from the Great Wall. This is time well spent chasing the army because the summons are going to deal with this over time.
Yep, and they are 2 Water Elementals, 2 Bears. Dryads are going to be able to dispel any summons that you actually put in this fight, but the rifles should be good. Are the rifles being pumped back in the main base? Yep, some more rifles being built, and the expansion is up. I would even throw down a second Rax right here at the expansion just to get those reinforcements a little bit closer.
That wouldn't be a bad call, actually. Not that big of an investment, and the rifles would be a lot safer coming across the map. The peasants were about to be caught out, but Neutron's going to need to buy a heal scroll. Maybe even buy 2. Certainly going to buy 1 here. Oh, heal scroll. Oh, you're out of position. You imagine a world in which there was a bolt here. Both heroes would be dead. Dryads falling to the Arcane Towers. 2 Dryads falling. Those triple Arcane Towers are so strong. Neutron caught a little bit out now. The Moonwells are again still falling to the summons. Neutron stuck on 31 out of 30. Supply the Keeper, the Grove. 1 more attack. Almost falling. The Peacemaster could do it. The Panda's about to fall. I think the Great Wall has done it. Top 4? GG! Top 4 for the Great Wall. What a great series. Very well played to both players. Neutron held on all 3 games, even won the game 2 that he honestly wasn't supposed to. So very well played to Neutron, but the Great Wall found an edge, and he gets the W, and that's what's important for him.